And hello again, everybody.
Greetings,
Here we
Earthling.
are. We are zooming again, Will.
We are Dirk.
We're zooming. But you know what's nice about this? There's very little equipment to set up.
That is true.
It's
That is true.
a lot easier for me, although I prefer doing it the other way. But
Absolutely, me too.
episode 47, Will. 47.
We are making our way to that magic 52.
I was lobbied hard today by a teacher who said that
Hmm.
I was lobbied,
Yes.
said episode 52
Hmm.
needs to have a live audience.
Wow.
She
That actually makes me nervous
She
thinking
was
about it.
she was like, I'm serious. You need to have a live audience for episode 52. So maybe at the very least, if we want to record one after school, we'll just tell people if you want to be in the live audience and heckle us
Oh gosh.
the second episode. But we'll see.
I don't think I'm not gonna do well if people heckle because I got to say stuff back and it's just not gonna go well.
It could be a little bit, well, no, I think it'll be great. A little bit of a party. They can stick their head in. Heck, half the show could just be saying hi to the people that come and join us. It'd be kind of fun. Okay, or not. Forget it, people. You're not invited.
I'm down. I'll do it. I don't care.
Emails to Will Kelly, courtesy of the White Chocolate Podcast. No, we'll figure it out. But anyway, episode 47. Will, we got three segments today. There's the first
I
one,
figured as much.
and then there's the last one.
There
And
certainly is.
and then a quick joke at the end.
Mhm.
It's not going to be a long joke.
Quick
Just
joke. Hmm.
just a quick joke. Join.
Hmm.
Will, the first one that we're going to do today is class lists.
Last Cliss.
I am skipping my dream. I have two dreams that I recorded, Will. Each one
Okay.
equally weirder than the other, but I don't want to overload people with our dream analysis, so we'll save it for a future one. One was just weird,
Right.
ended almost horror movie-y. Yeah, as in it ended with me hearing people a little ways away from me screaming and realizing that I was going to be next.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You've piqued my interest.
Well,
Don't tell me now. It's better. It's better in person.
all right. And then if
We
we want to do that one.
told like, the audience. By the way, I think you told them, but I don't hear these dreams beforehand. Obviously,
No, I don't tell you ahead of time. And then
very much caught my attention.
the other one, or the part of this that precedes me being fearing for my safety and or life based on what I'm hearing going on down a little ways away from me. I'm giving a ride to a rather large woman on a wheelchair. I'm in a wheelchair for no particular reason, and this woman gets injured, and she's like holding onto the back of the wheelchair, and I'm trying desperately to get her where she's going, but I'm disadvantaged too because I'm in the wheelchair and for some reason I can't walk. And so I'm desperately trying to be courteous and get her to where she needs to go, but I'm just
You're
this
just
is
such the gentleman.
I was struggling.
Wow.
Anyway,
That's
yeah, there's some interesting points to this dream. It was
I very much am excited to hear the horror dream. And have
believe it
you
or not,
watched?
those two were the
Have,
same dream.
oh, okay. I'm sorry. Have you watched um, A Quiet Place?
Yes, I'm pretty sure. That's the one
I
in
thought you did too.
is there one scene in that where they're in the truck out in the field?
Yes, that's the end scene.
Yes, I've seen that.
John Krasinski. Okay. Did
Yeah.
you watch the second one?
Don't think so.
Okay. Well, the trailer for A Quiet Place Day One came out today, and I'm very excited about that too. But when you said horror, it just kind of made me flash to the trailer
So,
that I watched today.
so A Quiet Place 2 is already out and now is this a
And
third
this
one?
it'll be a third one, but it'll be like the prequel. It'll be what happened on the very first day the world went quiet. It looked
Wow.
really good.
Do you know who that director is?
John Krasinski.
Oh, he directs them too?
Pretty sure
Okay.
he directs the movies as well. Yeah.
So it's not like M. Night
No,
Shyamalan,
no Shamalama Bing Bong. No,
because that's got sort of a Shyamalan-y feel
it
to it.
does, but it's better to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Sometimes he gets a little crazy to me.
Shyamalan.
I think he gets a little crazy sometimes. Sometimes, I mean, not always, but sometimes it's a little more far fetched than I'd like.
I agree. The one that won me over was The Village, but it's a long
Love the
haul
Village.
to get to the end.
It's still good.
It's a long haul, and then you're like, but the concept of that is really unique.
Yeah, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
For sure.
All right, so let's go with classless. Will, these are 10. Sorry, another podcast I listen to when they say 10, they always do 10 parakeets. It's a prank phone call where they call in it. The guy asks for 10 parakeets to a pet shop. And the lady's like, well, I think and he thinks he's being funny, but it's really stupid. And she's like, well, I think we have 7 parakeet. He's like, well, I totally need 10. And then he's like giggling like he's really pranking her. It's so stupid, but she's like, but it's easy because we have another shop on the, halfway across town, and I'm sure they could have more parakeets. He's like, oh, but you don't have them there. And he's like being so
Oh
stupid,
my,
like he's really pranking. Well, the article is entitled 10 Common Things with Uncommon Names.
uncommon things, uncommon names. Okay.
So I'm going to give you the name. Half of these I'd never heard of before, so I wouldn't expect you to know. Some of them I have heard before. So I want to see if you can guess what these words mean. The first one, Will, is vibrasi or vibrasi, Vibrassae. And I will give you a hint.
Okay,
If you,
please do.
it has to do with mammals.
Okay, so not where I was gonna go at all.
Okay.
So why are you already laughing at me?
Because I didn't
You like to watch me in pain. I know you do.
know, because I didn't anticipate this segment being you're going to try to bluff me, but I realized that's what it's going to turn
You
into.
know that's what I'm gonna try to do. You could tell when as soon as I said
Yeah,
so, you knew
you're
I
like,
was
okay,
reaching for
so here's
something.
the thing.
Right. So Vibrasi.
Vibrasi.
That what does that mean? Your arms were outside the
No, I was adjusting my light. I have my desk
oh,
lamp.
oh, oh, oh. I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you I've never heard of this word.
I had not
But
either.
right away, knowing it has to do with mammals,
Hmm?
that is one of the bones in mammals that distinguishes a mammal from not a mammal
So
in the
is
vertebrae.
is that what distinguishes a mammal? Vertebrae?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought, yeah. Okay. Well, you had me there. You could have convinced me.
I mean, yes, then.
So, Will, here it is. Whether you're a dog person or a cat person,
Hmm.
be charmed by this term. Vibrace, the lesser known name for what we dub as whiskers, grace the faces of nearly all mammals.
Hmm.
They're not just cute, they play a crucial role in the animal's life, serving as tools for locomotion and exploration. Essentially, they're super sensors that allow your furry friend to perceive and navigate its surroundings. So all those little, like the dark spots
Right.
or the whiskers and everything, are vibrasi.
Well,
Is
that's
the name. Say that again because your voice cut out.
that I was gonna get there next, but you cut me off, so it's fine.
Um, I'm
That was gonna be the next thing I said.
I'm very sorry. I have a terrible habit of cutting you off. Well, let's move on to number two.
I don't want you to, seeing how
Okay.
the first one went.
Well, we'll see. This one you might have a shot. I feel like I've heard this before, but I wouldn't have been able to remember it. But you have a great memory, so let's see how you do.
Oh my gosh. Now you set me up for failure even more now that I won't know it.
Not set you
All
up for
right, go ahead. Let's just go ahead.
compliment a guy. Gosh. Um, Will, this is your philtrum, and you have one of these. It's PHIL, just like Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince, and then TRUM. It's a philtrum. Will, where is your philtrum?
In my refrigerator.
You got to
Why would you ask me questions you already know the answer to?
you got to change every 3 months.
That's my, yeah, that's my filtration system that filters out the bad stuff in my water. I don't know why you know that.
I do know that, Will. Before I cut you off, I want to make sure that you don't have a second part to your answer.
I'm very much done with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I would just wanted to be upfront and tell you what it was right away.
Will, the philtrum is used when you make the duck face for a selfie, which you do constantly, I know. You're not only pouting your lips,
Hmm.
you're also moving your philtrum, which is the
Okay.
area between your nose and the top lip, that little
Understood.
canal or channel. That
Okay.
is your philtrum.
Well, you know how often I duck face. So
Constantly, and
yeah,
I've been admiring your philtrum from afar.
I know you have.
And
Everybody does. It's not a big deal.
So now I know what it's called. Hey, nice philtrum. Tomorrow
Oh,
I'm going to use that on some of the students.
oh gosh, they're not going to know what to do with that.
They won't have any idea. All right. Well, number three is an aglet. Aglet. What is an
And an aglet is the plastic on the end of the shoelace, right? Like this little thing. You can't see it in my shoe, but I think that's what it is.
You're
Or
exactly right. When you're tying your shoelaces and you're trying to put them through the little holes, the aglet is that plastic wrap on the end of the lace that helps you push it through the hole. That's it. That's the aglet right there. So,
okay,
there you go. Good for you. Good for
one
you.
for all of them.
That's the one I might have gotten if I'd have remembered. I don't know if I
Only
would
one-
have.
That's the only one I'm going to get probably.
Number four, Will, lemniscate.
Okay,
Lemniscate. What is a lemniscate, Will?
first of all, that's a gobbledygook word. That's not even a real word.
Right.
Lemniscate. Who just put those combination of letters together?
March right on.
Right.
There
Lem
you
lemniscate.
Lemniscate. And let me give you a hint, Will.
Well, I don't need your hint because I'm going to tell you what it is right now.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
That is when you're down south
Okay.
and you're getting ready to go to the roller rink and you're yelling at the dude from behind the counter there to get your skates, and then you just say, "Hey, let me skate." Did
That,
I nailed that, didn't
that's crazy. That
I?
is
I know.
crazy.
You thought I wasn't going to know it.
I honestly
Silly.
did, but I
That's
forgot
silly of you.
you have family roots in the South, and
Yeah.
so you are familiar with the Southern,
Hmm.
and that's
Hey man,
exactly right.
hey man, let me skate.
Lemniscate. He gave me so. All right, so well, the lemniscate is the technical name for what we know as the infinity symbol, the sideways letter 8. It is called a lemniscate. So a lot of people are probably discovering the true name of their tattoo now if they've got
Right.
the infinity tattoo.
Yeah.
But apparently the brilliance of it is that it's an endless curve. So it's exploration without limits, capturing the essence of boundless possibilities. So that's a
Right.
lemniscate. Rule number
Never
5.
1,000 chances I never would have gotten that there.
I'm going to take a quick sip of no, I'll wait for my quick sip of bevy. Well, number 5 is one that you're familiar with in the athletic world, but this is not that one. The word is punt. What is a punt?
Punt.
Punt, and not the athletic version. A punt. What is a punt? I'll give you a hint.
Okay. I'll
It
take
has
it on the
it has to do with beverages, which is why I took a sip of my beverage, which is invisible.
punt. I'm gonna guess that it was invisible. I'm gonna guess that it's the name for the tab on the top of the soda can.
That is a brilliant guess. It is incorrect, however.
Okay. All
Well, the
right.
punt, and I did not know this, is the
Me either.
indentation in the bottom of a bottle, like a wine bottle. So
Okay.
the punt is how far up the center of the wine bottle comes from the underneath side, if you know what I mean. It has sort of a dome shape in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I know. Yep.
That's called the punt. Uh,
Okay.
and it says skeptics argue that the purpose of the punt is to create the illusion of more liquid in the bottle. But the truth is that a deeper punt usually indicates a higher quality wine.
Hmm.
I'm not a
Okay.
wine person, so I didn't know
Neither am
that.
I.
But I not only did I not know it was called a punt, but I didn't know that it would differ based on the quality of the wine.
I I was lost as well, but that's pretty cool.
And
Little fun fact.
most people that I know that buy wine, there's no punt in a box.
No, no, there isn't.
Cheaper wine people.
Yep.
Well, this one, I didn't believe it was a word. It's
Okay. Great.
its word is crapulence. Crapulence. And
I feel like you're just making things up at this point.
I agree. And I feel like this might be one of those, what was those calendars that have words that should be words but aren't, snippets?
Yeah, yeah. That should
That,
be on there.
that's what I thought this was.
Yeah.
Crapulence is actually a word. Do you want me to save you some time?
Sure.
It is that sick feeling you get after eating or drinking too much. It is your version of BMD.
Okay.
Apparently,
Crapulence.
it's called crapulence. Now, I'd have to Google that to find out.
Cacophony.
Cacophony. Parallelogram. So, Will and I don't know where this started, but we we do this to each other's classes. We'll just walk in the room and it has to be accompanied with the hand motion, the
Of course.
definitive hand motion.
Yes.
And we will come up with whatever word. We don't pre-plan the word.
Mm.
It has to be a word that is multiple syllables,
Absolutely.
and to most people makes them look at us like we're crazy. And
Well, we look at each other sometimes like, where did that come from?
right, you'll like we'll open. I'm in the middle of teaching. We'll open the door, and I'm like, oh, and you'll say cacophony or whatever the word is,
Right.
and parallelogram. So it just stupid things that we do to keep sane
Yes. Well, and things that we need to do in order to make it through the day.
and make it through like meetings like this morning, for example. By the way, I didn't get a chance to tell you this from the person who ran our meeting this morning.
Yeah.
I got an email apology, which I thought was nice but unnecessary,
Okay.
saying, sorry, I've had a lot going on and I'm not myself. And I didn't mean to be. She didn't say I didn't mean to be anything. She just said, I want to apologize to you. I didn't, but I didn't feel like there was any reason for her to apologize. But I guess she felt like she shut me down when I was talking.
Okay. Fair.
But
I mean,
uh,
that was
yeah,
very nice of her.
it was very nice. I said, please don't worry, A, and B, I I just get frustrated that we have conversations about things, but don't always get a chance to really get in depth. And I
Sure.
know also on days like this, it's first thing in the morning, and half the people there just want to get back to their room to get ready for their class.
Correct. Yes.
So it's like it's a hard time to expect everybody to be willing to be engaged because we're all just thinking about what we need to get ready for the day. So, but anyway, interesting that I got that email, and I assured her that there was nothing to apologize for.
Well,
Well, a
good.
petrichor. We'll try to finish these out real quick. A
Okay.
petrichor.
A
P
petrichor,
E T R I C H O R.
that's the item that Iron Man used in order to complete his arc reactor in Iron Man 1.
That is the core part, right?
That's the petrichor.
That's petrichor with the CORE. This is CHO.
Okay. Okay. Then that's my mistake. That was
Instead,
confusing.
Phil, this word is one of my most favorite things, but I didn't even know what it was called. After it rains, there is a universal delight that a lot of people enjoy that smell that comes from wet
No.
oil
Mm-hmm.
after a rainy day.
Okay.
Besides smelling it, it's also called, the scent is called petrichor, and it's produced by bacteria in either the soil or the water that the water either, I don't know if it causes the soil to open up and release that smell, but that smell is from a bacteria and it's called petrichor. And I didn't know that, but I love that smell. One of my favorite smells from growing up in the woods outside of Frederick was that smell when it would rain.
Petrichor.
Petrichor, there's a new one. Will, three more. Griffinage. Number 8,
Oh,
griffinage.
Jesus. Adam.
Not House of Harry Potter.
That was where I was leaning Gryffindor right away. Yeah.
Well,
Do
this is defined as careless handwriting, like chicken scratch. Like when we say
oh,
chicken scratch,
okay.
like a doctor's handwriting.
Okay.
Apparently it's called griffinage, and it's a very just loosely sketched wording. And so basically what we
Like
would call
most signatures.
scribble. Yeah, basically.
A lot of
Griffinage.
doctor signatures. Okay.
Two more, Will. This one is, I'll save the best one for last. This is not the best one. It's called tintinnabulation. Tintinnabulation.
That is when you have a chip in your tibula.
It's tin, by the way. Did you hear that? Not tib.
Oh, no,
Tin,
I did not.
T-I-N-N.
Thought you
Sorry.
said tib.
Tintinnabulation.
Tintib.
Tin, tin. Two tins. 20.
Intib.
Tintinnabulation.
B. Okay. This is Tintin tabulation. That's the Tintin. That's the sound that change makes in your pocket when it jingles.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the sound of metal things rubbing
Right. Clanging
together.
together. Yep.
Very good.
Thank you.
And the last one, it's very onomatopoetic, Will. And the last one, Will, please tell me. Huh?
Are you going to tell me what the hell it actually is?
That's it.
Oh, okay. I nailed it. No problem.
No problem. You nailed it right off the
Yep.
bat. I was just trying
Yep.
to come to the end.
When your boys got dollars.
Yeah. No, it's actually bells ringing together, but you were very close. The
That's
sounds of
close then.
bells ringing. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was close enough, so I wasn't gonna
Roll with it.
And then the last one, Will, is, and this one you touch one of these, Will, at least weekly, maybe even more often. Will, this is the Zarf, Zarf. Please to be telling me, when do you touch your Zarf?
It's mine. It's my Zarf.
As long as you're using it, yes. And then when you're done using it, you would discard the Zarf.
When do I touch my Zarf? At least once weekly.
You might touch your Zarf more often than once a week, Will. I don't know. When I think about you, I touch my Zarf.
Okay, Dirk. That is enough.
I'm so sorry, but it came to my head and I couldn't stop myself.
A Zarf is,
That might be the TikTok from this
yeah,
episode.
it may be. A Zarf is, I discard it when I'm done using it.
Yes. I mean, you could have a collection of Zarvs, but I don't think you would keep these.
Zarfs. I'm out. I don't know.
A Zarf is it is sort of a metal thing, but it's come around to mean other things. It's a metal thing with a handle that you would use to hold a hot beverage. But
Okay.
nowadays, like the cardboard wrap that's on a Starbucks cup is called a Zarf. Anything that's like a cup insulator to help you hold a hot cup without it burning your hand is called a Zarf. But originally, they were like a metal frame with a handle that you would set a cup into that was hot.
Interesting.
So there we
Who's,
go. 10. There, this is time the audience will never get back, Will.
yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Will, let's move hastily on to segment two.
We shall.
Will, this is called Asking for a Friend. It's a new segment. We haven't done it before.
Okay.
Well, this is just so the audience, the audience has been with us for a long time, and they deserve to know
47 weeks.
us, and they deserve to know us a little better.
Okay.
Well, here are 5 questions from a website I found that are questions to ask close friends.
Okay.
And Will, you're gonna have to be willing to share on these. I'm gonna get you to open up.
I don't do that well.
No, you don't do that well. Will, the first
By the way,
question.
I love your Aurora Boreal in the background this week.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for my Bora Aurora.
It's a beautiful view you have there.
Well, right over here, you can't see it, but my winter cottage is just out of the picture over here.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
The only downside is it's 132 below with the wind chill
Ah,
right on.
tough. So that's why you have to stay inside. I
Well,
understand.
it's in Saskatchewan, yeah. I mean,
Mm,
it's pretty cold up here. Actually, no, it couldn't be Saskatchewan, I don't think. I think I'd have to be, no, you have to be north. You don't have to be east, right?
let's move on.
Uh, Will, question one. What do you think about yourself?
Um, Dirk, I think I'm a pretty fun-loving guy. I think I think I'm a homebody, and I think that I try my best to put others first. And I sometimes I smell bad.
I think that's true for all of us.
Um, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's what I think about myself. I think I'm a family guy, Peter
So
Griffin, if you will.
I I think we're not going to take time to agree or disagree with each. Well, we can if we want to. I agree with you 100%. I need to say this, and this will make you uncomfortable because you hate conflict.
I don't want you to do it then.
Okay. Audience, Will's not listening. No, you are one of the most selfless people that I know
Okay,
as
thank you.
far as being generous. And so you achieve that incredibly well. And you're a great dad and you take great care of your kids. But anyway, let's move on because you're uncomfortable.
What about you?
I'm going to lay it out there, Will. I'm going to tell the truth.
Lay it on me.
I think I'm smart. I think that I have an extremely caring personality and that I really thrive when I'm able to help other people, that's what brings me joy. And I also have, though I've learned to fight it in my older age, I have a very definite selfish streak when it comes to like money and possessions and doing what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like I try to hide it and having kids certainly helped me with that, but and I have trouble with people that have more than me sometimes. I'm an envious person. I don't like that. So
And you said we couldn't. We're not agreeing or disagreeing. We're just letting us talk.
I agreed with yours.
Okay. Um, I definitely agree with most of that. All of it, obviously. That's how you feel about it. I know you feel the best about yourself when you're helping somebody else. Like I know that brings you joy to help other people. You don't do it for a reward, and you don't do it for um like an applause or you just do it because you genuinely enjoy helping other people, and that's one of the things that I respect most about you. And not to get sentimental, I'm just joking, but no, I really do appreciate about you, and you're definitely one of the smartest people I know. So
You've said that to me, and it's meant the world because I, both my parents were very, very smart people, and I feel like I got everything I could from both of them, and
mhm.
so I'm proud of that. But I'm also kind of hard-headed, which is a negative thing, but that comes from one of my parents. I won't name names. Rule number two, what was your most embarrassing experience in life? Can you think of a time where you don't embarrass easily?
I don't.
I can think of times at school when I've embarrassed you, usually only when I say something you're not comfortable with in front of other
Dude,
people.
I was embarrassed just now when you were talking about me. I don't like when you talk like when anybody talks about me. Like I that's not true. I like it, but I get uncomfortable hearing
Right.
it. I don't know. My
But
most
if you were
embarrassing.
alone and it wasn't on the podcast, does it make it better if it's just
Yeah,
two
if it's
people?
just if well, especially if it's just us, then that's
You can live with it better.
yeah. If it's well, because I trust you a lot. I don't
Right.
know. Anyway, my most embarrassing
Yeah. Can you
time.
think of anything embarrassing? It doesn't have to be most. That puts a lot of pressure,
It
but
does put a lot of pressure.
can you think of a time when you were embarrassed? You did something, said something, were goofing around and somebody saw you.
I will say this. I, I think I've told you this before, so I'll share it on the podcast. I was
Enjoy
in
it.
this. I was in the store, our local grocery, with my daughter, and my daughter says whatever's on her mind.
Kids
She's
do.
four.
Yep.
They're the darndest things. And so this is just the time that popped in my head. Probably not my most embarrassing, but anyway. I'm pushing her in the car. She's sitting in the little basket seat, and we're shopping on a Saturday. And Braxton's riding on the front, my son, and we are getting ready to pass this very, very elderly couple. And extremely, extremely cute. I had to be mid 90s, Dirk. I'm not joking. She was wearing
Right.
her little bonnet,
Right.
and he had her arm around her, and they were both one of his hands was pushing the cart, and her hands were pushing the cart, and they were pushing it together, and they were all. It was very cute. Yes,
Beautiful.
like just an old love, and you love to see that.
Yep.
And I knew she was going to say something just because I know her obviously very well.
And this is an out of ordinary. You don't see people that age all the time.
No, you don't. And so I'm doing everything to distract. I'm pointing at this. I'm saying, "Oh my, look at this! Would you look at that over there? What is going on?" And I'm just, trying to do the whole dad distracting. And of course, I see that her eyeing them the whole time. And yep, eyes not, babe, it's not polite to stare. Don't stare, please. Do the whole look at this over here. So we are now getting ready to meet, pass, and I thought we were going to make it pass without anything happening. And as soon as we are right here next to each other, I get, Dad, is that lady a good witch or a bad witch? And I really just wanted to leave them in the cart and walk out of the door myself. I don't like that does embarrass like secondhand embarrassment is bad for me.
Would
And
you
the fact that she was there was no doubt that she was a witch, Dirk. It was whether she was a good one or a bad one. In her mind, she already had her mind made up she was a witch.
did she hear? Do you think what are the chances are that the woman heard?
I did not stick around to find out. I pushed that cart so vigorously, Dirk.
That's like
hastily,
the other grocery
yes,
store.
hastily down the aisle and did not look back.
That's painful.
So that was that not obviously not my most embarrassing moment probably in life, but just the first one that came to mind recently because that happened fairly recently.
So mine revolves around high school. Our high school band had a pretty, back in the day, a pretty decent reputation for hazing the freshmen.
Okay.
So here I am, a freshman, and I was probably maybe 2 and a quarter back in those days, 6 foot tall, maybe 2 and a quarter, so a little chunky, but not crazy bad.
Yeah.
And they decided that it was going to be fun to give me the atomic wedgie.
Oh no.
So about three of the juniors and senior guys from the band, when I was in the instrument storage room, come running in, grab me by the back, and just start lifting, right? And at first it was just painful.
Right.
And it got to the point where the underwear gave way.
No.
And so the waistband tore loose from the underpants themselves. Tidy whities. Okay,
Yeah.
back in the day. And of course they start to separate. So now you've just got the
The
waistband.
band. Right.
And so of course then they just keep pulling until the whole waistband, because it's seamed in the back.
Yeah.
So until it tears all the way
Until
around.
it.
Well, that was embarrassing. And by the way, not to cry poor me, but when you're overweight already, the last thing you really need is attention drawn to your body in any way.
Understood.
Well, you would have thought they would have been satisfied with that.
Oh no, there's more.
You would have thought, you know, it's in the instrument storage room, three guys on one.
We got him good.
Yeah, we got him. Ha,
That's
ha.
good enough.
Very funny. Wasn't until I put my instrument together and I'm embarrassed and I walk back into the band room across the hall, get to my seat, and then I see behind where the conductor sits, Mr. Pearl is our band director. Behind where Mr. Pearl sits, he had his chalkboard behind him.
Mhm.
And on the chalkboard, hanging from one of those little metal clips,
Oh no, they did not.
was my underwear band. And on the chalkboard, Will, they wrote Dirk's Super Stretch Waistband and drew an arrow to it. Yes, it's funny, Will. You can laugh.
That's not funny.
I'm a ninth grader in a band of about 80 kids in a band
Oh,
room.
that's tough to recover from.
Mr. Pearl comes out of his office to start rehearsal, climbs up on there, sits down, doesn't notice it because it's behind him. The band
That's
is laughing. Then he's like, "What, what, what?" And he turns around in his chair, rotates around. He was a larger man at the time. He's much smaller now, but he had some health issues, which was why he left high school. But he turned around and looked at it, and all of a sudden, you just saw him turn back around and go, and
no
then
help.
started rehearsal.
Just no help.
That was it. That was
Oh,
just one event, but that was probably
that's tough.
that lasts.
Yeah, that I mean, you remember that vividly.
Oh, like it was yesterday. Yeah,
Right.
that lasts.
That's
All right,
tough.
well, let's do one more question.
One uno mas.
What's the worst thing, Will? I had five, but we'll stop after three. What's the worst thing you've done for love? Have you ever done anything out of your love for a parent, a wife, a child that you look back and go, I probably shouldn't have done that, but you did it for the right reason, but you kind of maybe overstepped your bounds, the wrong thing.
The playground this past summer, and this kid, probably about 8 years old, hit my son. So I belly punched him.
Hmm. Did he
I'm
did he did he lose his breath? I was going
couldn't
to
even.
play.
I
I
know
was,
I couldn't even get through it. The worst thing I've done for love.
and if you'd like, I can go first because I have one. If
Yeah,
it'll give
you. Why don't you go first, and I'll try to think of something.
when I was dating my wife, uh,
My way.
my wife. I mean, I have the normal stuff like in high school, my girlfriend, some boy came up and like hit on her, and I threatened him, but this was worse. This was the most disrespectful thing I ever did, and I actually apologized to him. I was so glad I apologized to my father-in-law before he passed away because I needed to apologize. It was like 20 years later, but still, I talked to him about it. My father-in-law, my wife's parents basically very much controlled her
Yeah.
when we dating. And they were, um, they would go out and do things a lot of times and tell my wife, oh, you're going to stay home and babysit your little sister, who was
Right.
12 years younger. And so a lot of times, like I'm dating my wife, we're in our late teens, and I'd be like, hey, do you want to go out for New Year's? And then we'd make plans, and then come to find out she couldn't go. She had to stay home and take care of her sister.
Gotcha.
And one time I was so angry that we had made these plans, and then we found out like a day or two before that instead her parents were going to go out. When I walked into the house and she was talking about it, and she's like, "But Dad, I thought Dirk and I were supposed to go." And she's like, "Well, your mother and I are going." And I said something to the effect of her dad of because here I thought I was standing up for my wife,
Sure.
saying, "Well, that's it. She's just you just treat her like she's your servant." And blah 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 blah. And he's like, "Well, she doesn't mind. She's gonna." I was like, "That's because you've trained her too well." Just completely disrespecting her parents and her father. And at the time, it felt right because I'm like, I'm standing up for my wife and
Protect. Yeah. Protect
her
her.
rights. But now, as a dad, and that's what I told my father-in-law, Art, before he passed away. I said, now, as a dad, if somebody came into my house and talked to me like that, right or wrong, I'm, I said, I'm pretty lucky you didn't just throw me through a wall. And he's like, well, when
So you're
he was so cool. He said, well, when you're young and you're in love, you do stupid. Well, he said the S word. He said
can't say that on here.
it
Don't
was,
say that on the podcast.
yeah, we can't. But it was, I realized at the moment I was 19 or 20 and I was fighting for the woman that I loved, but I didn't know my place. And I
Hmm.
realized that later and was able to talk with him about it and say, you remember all those years? I'm so sorry that
Hmm.
I overstepped my bounds. And he's like, I appreciate that. He's like, when we're young like that, and he understood. He was passionate about protecting people too. And he understood why. He said, if I thought it was for any other reason other than the fact that you loved my daughter so much, we'd have had a problem, you know? But that was when I did the wrong thing, but for love.
I'm trying to think of one, and I was trying to think of one while you were talking too.
You don't have to come up with one if you can't think of one,
You know I've done something dumb.
but you can't think of it now. Well, we'll table it. Maybe in the future, if you think of something, we'll throw it into a future podcast if you can't
Go
come.
on to the next one, and then I'll interrupt you when I think of something.
Well, yeah, I was going to go to the last segment because I don't
Yeah,
want to
go
make
ahead.
the podcast too long. And since we're on Zoom, I don't have my normal timer, so I'm not sure how long we're going here. So let's jump to number three, Will. And number three is everybody's favorite. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price.
There it is.
Disappearing the
Mm,
disappearing cards.
there they are.
You can hear them, but you can't see them.
And not
So Becky was kind enough, our lovely Becky Data was kind enough to give us
data.
some more cards. One, two, three, four, five things of awkward things to do, Will. We haven't done this one in a while.
Let's do it.
Uh, I know I have a little notepad here with some numbers, and we don't have our whiteboards because we're far away. But Will, number one. Oh, by the way, audience, in case you haven't seen this one before, Will and I were given this list by our wonderful, fabulous teacher at our school, Becky.
Yep.
Becky gave us a list of five things that you wouldn't really want to do. Will and I have to predict or say how much money we would have to get, up to $1,000 in increments of 50, I think is what we decided, in order to do this. And whoever does these five things for the cheapest, I guess wins the game.
Is
We're
the
trying to be
victor.
honest, but here we go. Will no more internet for a month. I don't know if that looks backwards to you. It's backwards on my screen, but
It's not.
okay. No more internet for 1 month, Will. How
One
much?
month.
1 month, no internet.
This is at school. This is everywhere.
Yeah, although it's school, I mean, we couldn't do our job without it,
Right.
but
So can we just say at home?
yeah, let's say for personal use. It's not going to be easy,
No.
but I might have an advantage because I lived in the world before there was internet.
I'm
You
ready
ready
when you
for
are.
the video?
I Mine is backwards, probably.
No, it's good for me. So
Okay.
200 for you and 500 for me.
I feel like that's not a difficult thing. If as long as I can do my job at work, I feel like 1 month is not
I
terrible to
know,
try to
I know
make it
how
through.
many TikToks you send me about Montana.
That would hurt. That would hurt not to see Montana for a month, but I think in
I
the
can
grand scheme of things, I think it would not be that
do it for
difficult to give it up
200
for a month.
bucks.
Yeah, I
No,
don't think that would.
no movie trailers,
Nope.
no sports.
Nope. Well, I mean, the
I mean,
TV counts as
no, no, no,
cable,
you
right?
can watch it, but I'm saying
Right.
like looking up scores or
Right. So yeah, especially if I'm able to watch live TV, I don't think that's difficult. That's
yeah.
not true. It'll be difficult, but that's one of the easier things that we've had on here to me.
I think that the hardest part would be how many times I would reach for my phone before I realized because I just know, like, for example, my phone's doing an update and I
Yeah.
can't access something for like 2 minutes and I'm going mad.
Right.
I know I'm addicted, so I know it would be hard, but
But
okay.
I think after 4, 5, 6 days, you would start to get used to it.
Yeah, and actually, it might actually be kind of nice to slow
Right.
down. And
Yep.
I've tried to talk my family into going a weekend just to see. I think it would be an interesting challenge. I can't get them to go for it. But anyway, all right, well, switch jobs for with your spouse.
Okay.
Switch jobs with your spouse. It doesn't specify for how
I
long.
was getting ready to say how long.
What if we say a year?
Okay. Um. Okay.
Now, does jobs, my clarifying question, Will, would jobs include like what you do at home too?
I don't. I
What would
think we
that
would have
put-
to clarify that. I don't know. You.
what would-
I think that's roles. I think that differs. I think that's different.
so just jobs.
I'm thinking it's just our place of work.
Okay. For a year.
Hmm.
All right. We didn't specify this, but yeah, that's fine. William, ready to reveal?
I am. That's you beat me.
50 bucks because I know it's my wife has recently gone back to work and she's working in actually a casual male store, a clothing store, but it's a small store and they sell big men's clothing. That's where I get my clothes. And I think, other than being on my feet a lot, I think the job would be so much less stressful than what we do every day.
So agreed. I knew you were gonna go. I knew yours was gonna be low because I obviously know what Shannon does, and I know you would be good at that because you're a people person and you're a good salesman. But I I originally went a little lower than that for mine, and then upped it because number one, I'm not as creative as my wife is
She
in
has a
her
lot
job.
of technical knowledge for her job, right?
She
Or no?
does. She does. She's just very good at. She's a marketing coordinator. She's a marketing manager at her job, and she's just very good at it. And I don't know if I'm as creative as her. I do like the fact that she works at home every day, though. That's
Goodness, that's worth a lot. Your microphone cut out again. Say that part after your wife. I'm not sure why. It's very muffled and quiet.
that's weird. I was just saying. I originally went higher than that, and then thought about the fact that she works at home, and it lowered it a little bit for me.
Yep. Okay. Well,
Yes, that's me.
how
Switch
much
to an.
switch to an Android? We're both iPhone users.
We are.
I've secretly always wanted to try Android
Uh,
because I've heard they have good features
hmm.
and it's much more open platform, so you can get a lot more stuff. But every other computer in my life other than work is an Apple, so it wouldn't coordinate very well. Are we going to say forever or are we going to say a time period?
I would. I mean, it just seems like that's going to be our phone from now on. I'm ready when you are.
All right, we'll reveal. Okay.
In three.
7-3. I feel like I'm more of a habit. I wouldn't want to have to relearn everything, and it wouldn't work with my computers for the rest of my life. And
I was thinking the same thing, but you're gonna get used to it. Like I'm gonna get used to using it and having it, and it's just gonna be the daily norm after a while. And that's what I originally was gonna say like 5 or 6, and then I was like, it's not after a month, it's not gonna be that big of a deal.
no, I guess, and there's probably ways to make it work with Apple computers and stuff. It feels like it would be so much easier to not have to learn something new.
Yeah,
I'm a
probably.
dog, Will. I don't like new tricks.
I understand, Dirk. I understand.
New drigs.
Griggs.
Will,
Yes, hit me with it. What's the next one?
I'm going to take these a little bit out of order.
Okay.
Well, how much to wear flip-flops for 1 year?
Just flip flops.
Well, I don't think you mean naked. I mean for your only shoes,
No, no,
flip-flops.
I mean I can only wear flip flops for 1 year.
Right. Yeah, and you can I thought at first you meant like no clothing, just flip-flops.
I knew what you meant. I just that's
I don't like flip-flops at all.
we're set. Flip flops are the thing in between the big toe and the second toe. I don't like those either.
Thongs, some people call them thongs, I think.
Yeah, I don't like that either. And I'm just gonna write my score down and then we'll talk about it.
Man, I'm struggling with this, Will.
That's
I want to go higher, but then I look at it and I go, okay, it's only for a year, but I don't know. That's still.
I'm just gonna be honest and say what I. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. I didn't see it. All right, Will. There we go.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm going high.
Okay.
That a year with that's gonna first of all rub my toes raw.
Yeah, you're
Wearing
gonna
those all the
like Callum.
time,
Yeah.
that's gonna hurt. And if that's the only shoe I'm allowed to wear, I'm not going out to shovel snow in just flip flop. Like I have to go out and shovel snow, and it's gonna be cold. I don't want my toesies to freeze. You know how it is.
I don't mind the cold. What I mind is they don't give you very much stability or support. So
No,
if it's wet and you're carrying out the trash or I'm mowing the grass in flip-flops,
oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
I
that's
don't,
tough.
that's slippery and dangerous and it won't protect my ankle. Like you twist an ankle, your foot slides off. Like I know Crocs, if they get a drop of water on them, they're useless.
It's over. It's
Yeah,
over, Johnny.
you go right down.
So
Had a
like
second
I'm just
deal now, Johnny.
I I went right to the snowstorm that we just had a
Yeah.
few weeks ago, and I was out there with the snowblower walking up and down the driveway. That's not comfortable. That would not be okay.
You were
So
dialed up, by the way, when I FaceTimed you and you had your little hoodie up and your
I
little
was what?
you were looking good. You were dialed up. You were
Oh,
looking snatched.
move on immediately.
Okay.
All
Well, our
right.
final one.
All right, hit me with the last one. Hit me with your best shot.
Last one, Will. Here we go. How much? Okay, I'm not going to comment. I'm just going to read it. Run onto the field at an NLF game. I'm pretty certain she meant NFL.
Is there a thing as an NLF?
I think she pretty much meant an NFL game. National Football League.
feel like I feel like Becky wouldn't make that mistake.
Uh, I think Becky
Maybe
was
just doing it quick.
in
Okay.
her. This was the last one she wrote, scraping up, she's scratching them out. She's a very busy woman.
So that's illegal.
Right, you'd get arrested. But I don't think you'd really, well,
I, okay. That's gonna lose me the game, but I'm being honest.
really. Oh, 800 to 150.
I don't. You're okay with being arrested? I
No,
find I find that hard to believe.
no, I don't want to be arrested. First of all, How you got two hats on? First of all, I do not want to be arrested because I will have a major problem having my hands tied behind my back.
That's why I'm very surprised that that's only 150.
So the only thing I was thinking was, what a great story. If you're going to live a little, you go do something dumb, you run out
That's
on the field, you maybe you make it on TV, but what if I was running out on the field, Will, with my white chocolate podcast t-shirt on?
well, aren't you just the best sponsor there is?
See, now who needs UPS? We just
That's a
got
good point.
subscribers. If I did that at the Super Bowl, Will, right in the middle, what if I ran up on stage and kissed Usher right on the face?
Usher right on the face. Here's my total. I'll take that is I'll take the loss on that.
My total was
There it is. $500 loss, but
two.
I am not getting arrested for
So
that.
that means I made $2,000, but I got to wear flip-flops for a year.
Wear those flippy floppies, Dirk. You wear them.
I don't think I'm going to enjoy that. Will, I have a quick joke for you.
Tell me right now.
Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Will, turns out there was this redneck. I can say that because I am one. There was this redneck, Will, and he lived way back in the holler here in West Virginia. And unfortunately, Will, it's not all a happy story, but his father passed away during the night. And he
Hmm.
wakes up in the morning and he calls 911 and says, "Hey, my father must have passed away during the night. I'm going to need you to come send, an ambulance to pick up his body."
Yeah.
And the 911 operator said, "We'll send someone out right away. Where do you live?" And he said, "I live at the end of Eucalyptus Drive." And the operator said, "Can you spell that short for me so I can write it down for the ambulance driver?" And there was this long pause. And finally, the guy says, "How about if I just drag him over to Oak Street and you can pick him up there?"
That's crazy. Oh my. Drag him over to Oak Street. Much easier to spell. I mean, he's got a point.
He's practical. We're practical. If you can't get it done one way, you get it done another.
You figure out a solution to that problem.
What's that?
Huh?
What do you
You figure out a solution.
Very good. All right, Will, that is episode 47.
4-7.
Oh,
Agent 47. Tell me what that's from right now. 3, 2,
Inspector
1.
Gadget.
Okay, good.
I'm going to guess it's a Marvel reference.
It is not. It's a Hitman reference.
J. Cole?
Sure. We'll go with that.
Everything's J. Cole.
Jermaine.
Well, it's Wednesday when we record this, and I'm only saying that because we got 2 days left. By the time they're hearing this, we'll be sitting at home in our jammies enjoying our Friday night.
Our jammy jams.
Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this turns out that you get to see it again. We're still
Hope so.
learning with Zoom. I'm hoping we'll be side by side this time, but if not, so be it.
So be it.
Enjoy. Pretty soon, B-ball season will be coming to a close. We'll have some more time
Few
to
weeks.
get back into Studio 7 or 8 or 4 or whichever one we're going to use. So,
24.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Never going to guess what I'm going to say, but I would
Well,
really,
I would never.
if they subscribe to the podcast.
And then turned on the notification bell.
Oh yeah, if they want to smash the like button,
Okay, don't do that.
that's the lingo I've been hearing on other
Don't.
podcasts.
Don't say things like that.
Just smash that like button, and yeah, hit the bell. Why not? I mean, you're there. Your
You're
fingers
there already. You're already there. Just do it.
Spotify. Just go to YouTube and smash the bell and hit and tap like.
Stop saying that.
Type in "We love you guys." And we will see you next week for episode 48. Goodbye, everybody.
Everybody.